A perfect morning in New York. A car veers off the road. No brakes, no sound. The girl inside is alive. No blood, no wounds. And then she dies from a bullet no one heard in a shooter. No gunshot, no motive. Only one question haunts investigators. For over half a century, how can a bullet kill from the middle of the silent sea?
Welcome to THN Mystery. This is not a place for the curious. This is a place for those who need to know. Even if knowing means you'll never sleep again. We don't make things up. We retell what has already happened. Forgotten cases, shadows in history, and things that were never meant to be spoken of. If you believe in reason, prepare to let it go. If this is exactly what you've been looking for, then you're in the right place. Like and subscribe to the channel, and join us as we step into another chapter of darkness. Now turn off the lights and enjoy. The bullet from the silent sea, a young girl, a crash with no impact, and a bullet no one saw coming. Part 1. The Last Perfect Morning. Brooklyn, New York, July 7th, 1967. Nancy McEwen was 17. Blonde, bright-eyed, the daughter of a respected businessman in Long Island. She had just received an early birthday gift, a brand new yellow Chevrolet Camaro. That summer morning, like many before, she set out on the Belt Parkway, heading toward her father's office in Brooklyn where she worked part-time. The windows were down, her favorite music played softly, and the ocean breeze swept through the car. She smiled, took in a breath, and drove into the wind. It was the last moment of peace she would ever know. Part 2. The sudden swerve and the girl with no blood. At exactly 8:40 a.m., a police lieutenant driving several cars behind witnessed the Camaro drift sharply off the road. It didn't brake. It didn't skid. It simply veered, narrowly missed oncoming traffic, and slammed quietly into a tree. There was no smoke, no explosion. Just silence. The officer rushed to the car and found Nancy slumped over the steering wheel, alive but unresponsive. No visible injuries, no bleeding. Just faint moaning. She was rushed to Coney Island Hospital, but by 11:30 a.m., Nancy was dead. Part 3. The Invisible Wound and the Phantom Bullet. Doctors were puzzled until they examined the back of her head. A tiny hole, circular, almost surgical, was hidden beneath her golden hair. A bullet wound. But there was no external bleeding, no skull fracture that matched the interior damage, and no blood at the scene. The bullet had entered almost silently. There was no shattered glass, no entry hole in the car, just one open window, rear passenger side, slightly cracked. It was a mystery that shouldn't exist. Part 4. Dead ends in a city with no answers. Detective Albert Seidman, one of the NYPD's most seasoned investigators, took the case. Known for his work on high-profile cases like the assassination of Malcolm X, Seidman was not easily shaken. But this case baffled him. There were no witnesses who heard a shot, no shell casing, no shooter, no motive, no crime scene. Seidman ordered a systematic search of all structures, rooftops, and open fields within a mile. Hundreds of interviews, zero. Less until they spoke to Theodore DeLisi, a local gas station owner and longtime friend of Nancy's father. Part 5. A Shot into the Sea. At first, DeLisi claimed to know nothing. That morning, he said, he had gone fishing offshore in his small boat. But when pressed, he paused and remembered. That morning, at 8:40 a.m., he had brought along his old Lee Enfield .303 bolt-action rifle. Out on the calm water, he had fired a shot at an empty beer can floating a few yards away. He missed. He watched the can bob gently in the wake. Nothing seemed out of place. But now, as he recounted the memory, he knew what had happened. Part 6: The Impossible Trajectory. Ballistics experts would later confirm the angle of the shot, combined with the stillness of the water, allowed the bullet to ricochet, skimming the surface like a skipping stone, changing direction ever so slightly, and then climbing straight toward Belt Parkway, where Nancy was driving with her window cracked open. The bullet entered without shattering glass. It struck her behind the ear and stopped her heart in seconds. One bullet, one ricochet, 1 in a billion trajectory, death by physics. Part 7: Law, Luck, and No Justice. DeLisi was charged with manslaughter due to negligence, but the grand jury refused to indict. It was ruled a freak accident, not malice, not recklessness, just an inconceivable convergence of chance and poor judgment. He was fined $100 for discharging a firearm within city limits. Nancy's family received no justice. No one meant to kill her, but someone did, and no one could stop it. Part 8: Aftermath and the Haunting Lesson. Nancy McEwen became a tragic footnote in American criminal history, a cautionary tale for gun owners, a case study in ballistic horror. To this day, her story is told in forensic science lectures as one of the rarest documented cases of lethal ricochet with no intent and no direct line of fire. But for those who knew her, she wasn't just a victim of physics. She was a daughter, a friend, a life full of promise, taken by a bullet no one ever saw coming. Sources: The New York Times, 1967. Brooklyn girl dies from stray bullet. Detective Albert Seidman's memoirs. Reddit, Till, Nancy McEwen ricochet death. Sporting Gun, UK, ricochet ballistics in open water. You've just heard a true story, or at least a piece of the truth, but what you just heard might still be happening somewhere out there. This is THN Mystery, where every shadow leaves a trace. Let us know your thoughts on the story, or tell us what you want to hear next. See you again, if you still dare to return.